and welcome to Neat and Not by the Sea Flosstube video number who knows what. I'm Victoria.
Hi, I'm Catherine. My pronouns are she, her, and
We're coming to you from Port Chalmers, Otago, New Zealand. Welcome. For those who are returning viewers, welcome back. For those who are new, welcome here. And this I don't know what, it's late, everyone's tired, so you guys are in for a treat.
It's first Friday. So
Yeah.
Friday, what do we call it at work? Friday number 1.
Oh,
So we're tired.
yeah, is this the first full 5-day week?
After 2 weeks or 4 days.
After 2 or 3 weeks of 4 days.
It's
So
very difficult.
it's been hard to adjust back to full-time work.
I'm actually 35, but look at me.
Oh, so we'll start off with some general chit chat. Catherine, do you want to talk about any chit chat?
Yes, I have chit chatness. I should say that my baby turned 20.
Happy birthday, Catherine's baby.
And we had a conversation about. So I was on the computer with Max because apparently I can't not talk to Max every day. Max is my colleague; they're lovely. And I said, "Oh, Max, say hello to my baby." And Max said, "Oh, Christina, happy birthday! I wonder when your mum's gonna stop calling you baby."
Never.
I was like, well, I don't know. I've been trialing young lady, but it doesn't roll off the tongue. It rolls off the tongue better in Spanish. Anyway, it was so lovely to see her. She unexpectedly came home, and it was very cute because Star, our dog, she was just beside herself with happiness. Because Christina follows no rules. So first thing she does,
Yeah.
brings her special blanket, lays it on the sofa where the dog is not allowed. It's like full on cuddling on the sofa, which I
Aw.
totally encourage. I think it's great. But Martin's not happy about that. So Star has been very happy for about 3 days.
Nice.
Yeah, and now Star's gone back to like, if Martin and I are having a cuddle, she kind of comes in between us. It's like, love me. So yeah, so that's happened. I'll tell my bits because your bits are far more Flosstube interesting.
Sure,
so I'll
yes,
tell you
they
my
are.
bits, yeah.
Yeah.
Things I wanted to tell you about. Also, this Saturday, I'm doing a talk at the Waikouaiti Library. So if you're in the Dunedin area, you might be interested. The presentation is on my little house that we built in Waikouaiti, with the possibility of a tour after. But you have to book. So if you're in the local area and you want to find out a bit about building a little house, I'll be there Saturday morning. So that's courtesy of Waikouaiti Library, which is lovely. I also was watching a Flosstube. I've forgotten. Midwest Knitting, Midwest something like that. Kathy. I talked about her podcast last week, and she was talking about being naughty and buying yarn that really she has no business buying and stuff. And so I left her a lovely comment saying, well, there is a New Zealand maker, which you might all know, called Tiny Happy, Melissa Wasney. She's a great New Zealand maker. She's published a book and everything. She's great. And I remember her once years ago, her saying that nobody would be critical of a painter if they had all the colours. And so I was like, well, I think that means that you can buy the yarn.
Yeah.
And I said, although I did stop myself from getting some Canadian yarn because I thought I had too much yarn. And then the minute my friend left Canada, I regretted it. So that was one thing. And the other thing I wanted to talk about is a lovely thing that happened after the last Flosstube. So the Floss channel, I'm not finishing my sentences at the moment, by the way. Victoria had to chip in and help. We had a very funny dinner with Martin where he was like, try again. So we have two lovely friends of the podcast, of the Flosstube, that are Portuguese. So one is Paula, and I talk about Paula quite a bit, and the other one is Margarita, and I talk about Margarita quite a bit. But they're both super lovely, and I don't recall, but I must have been talking about Mondim sock yarn. And I think I have a bag of this. Remember?
Yes,
and we
you
were
have a
talking about
bag,
the
hairy legs.
hairy legs, and we said it looked like a Scottish Argyle socks. And well, I have some intel for you.
Ooh.
So Paula did say, those hairy legs are socks from the traditional customs in the Mondim area. The socks are knitted. Paula, you're very cute. The socks are knitted in white with knitting effects that you know better than me. It's very adorable. Okay, and then Margarita also, apparently it's a very colourfully, like the costumes in that area are very colourful, and lots of gold, very bright colours. So it just sounded lovely. I googled how to pronounce Mondim, so it's Mondim with a stress on the mon, but I didn't Google any images. But apparently very colourful and lots of gold, and so those socks are actually called Meias de Grades de Bucos. Sorry, so Meias means socks. And then Margarita was also saying that if you're on Ravelry, there is a pattern for some socks called Meias dos Corações. Corações. It means heart socks, and it's by Rosa Pomar, who is the owner of this brand.
It's a gorgeous orange, just by the way.
I know, right? I said to my sister, the traveller, the one that lives in Europe, it was like, what colour would you like, Catherine? Well, I would like yellow and orange.
Gorgeous colours.
So I will, at some point, I might even make, so anyway, they're very pretty. So the socks with that Paula was describing are socks with lace. So that diamond shape is made with lace. And it has texture and cables as well. So pretty cool.
I think I know the sort of socks they're talking about. Beautiful.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I've got some recommendations, but they'll come at the end. But I just really wanted to highlight this because I think one of the best things about having a Flosstube is that we're making connections with people all over the world. And so they tell us stuff like this, which I listen to a lot of knitting podcasts, and nobody has ever mentioned the history of the socks or that they come from a particular area or anything like that. So I think that's pretty neat. So thank you, Paula and Margarita.
It's brilliant.
I think I've talked enough.
Right, so in the last 2 weeks, what have I been up to? I have no memory at all of the first weekend. I don't know what I did. But last weekend, wow, it was amazing. So, you may remember, I'm very loud tonight, apologies people. You may remember that I showed you all this book that I purchased for a course I'm doing. Well, the course started and it was amazing. It was, or it is, put on by Stitch Witches. We're going to, it's 3 weekends, so it was 9 till 4 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday, and then in 8 weeks there's another 9 till 4 o'clock session, and then next year there'll be another weekend of putting it all together, the construction part of it. But it was so much fun. So it was done by Stitch Witches. The teacher was Sue. She had made this before, not in a class, but just for on her own.
We should say that if there are new people, Stitch Witches is our local embroidery shop.
Yeah. And and when they opened up, she had this as a display, and she got so many comments on it and requests for a class that she's put the class together. And it's amazing. I would highly recommend it to anyone. It was so much fun. I've learned so many new stitches. As part of the course, I bought the kit, and so I've got all these beautiful things, which I'll show you later on.
They look very pretty. But you could do, if you've done some embroidery, you absolutely, with the help of YouTube, you could do it without the class. You could do it with the book alone.
Most of the stitches, for at least most of the harder ones, there are instructions on how to do it in the book. There are a few where it isn't in the book, but you can find it online, I'm sure. But the class is amazing. I would highly recommend if you're in Dunedin and you want to do it, try and get to do another class. It's amazing.
There will be people that live rurally or their shops haven't put this class together. So
yeah, you could do it from the book.
But it's nicer to do it with people.
It's nicer with people, and everyone's learning. And I've done cross stitch, but I've never done embroidery before. So it's the stitches are new to me, which is great. It's wonderful.
And it actually, as far as I'm concerned, I am always surprised that you hadn't done embroidery before, because surface embroidery, because it fits in with your aesthetic and like a Victorian lifestyle, and you know, ladies who sit together and do dainty handwork, and yet you haven't. This is great. And the funniest thing is on the class on either Saturday or Sunday, Sue was like, "Oh, we're doing a stitch along with this XYZ stitch pattern. You know, anyone interested in coming to join that?" And I was all keen and enthusiastic because I was on a high in my class. I was like, "Yeah, I'll come do it." And so that started on Tuesday night. So what does that mean, that they open the shop on Tuesday night?
They open the shop. So at the back of the shop there is the teaching space. So they just open that and you just go to the back of the shop and everyone's stitching the same pattern, and Sue is hosting it again, and the pattern is a mixture of cross stitch and specialty stitches, and she'll demonstrate the specialty stitches and you'll stitch it and have a good chin wag, and
so
it's great.
So do you pay, sorry, just in case you're in Dunedin and you're interested in this, do you pay for the pattern and that's it, or do you also pay for the
You pay for the pattern.
Tuesdays?
I don't know if there's a fee for being on Tuesdays, because I kind of came in the side. I've got to reach out to Sue and just check if there was a fee involved in doing it. So I'll let you know.
Because I do know that they do, is it a Friday afternoon, like come
Bring
and
your
stitch?
Yeah.
I think they asked for a contribution for coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I may have dreamt that.
Yeah. No, I imagine there is a cost involved. I just don't know what it is yet. But
I'm very theoretically jealous. But it's very theoretical. I don't want to leave my house another night.
Oh, yeah, I was of two minds whether you would enjoy the class, because you do not like being told what to do.
I don't like to be told what to do. I really don't like being with people that much. I just want to come home after work.
Oh, no, I loved it. And the funniest thing is the Tuesday class. I knew it started this Tuesday, and I didn't think I'd be able to go because I had to go to Invercargill for the day for work. And so I'd said, you know, I'll miss the first one, but I'll come to the second one. If you could just put a copy of the pattern aside for me, I'll come down later in the week and purchase it. But I managed to get home earlier than I expected. And I got to the shop the class started at 6 o'clock at like 5:59 with nothing, because I hadn't been home to pick anything up. And so I had to buy everything. It was great. So very kindly opened the shop for me, and I was like, yeah, one of these. So I'll show you what I bought.
You're such a naughty child.
And I even bought stuff which I knew that people would lend me. I'm like, no, I'm going to buy it.
Because I can get away with it.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go back to your Saturday class, your weekend class.
Yes.
How many people were in your class?
So the class was quite small. It was, there were 4 people learning it. I know she's running 2 classes, and the second class I think has got 6 or 8 people in it. We were the smaller group.
Okay. And how many people in the stitch along on a Tuesday night?
I think there were 7 of us there. So they were just small, which was really nice. You got to know people.
That's lovely.
Theoretically, I remember people's names.
Exactly. And over time, if you go for a few Tuesdays, you will get to know them. Which is, you know, it was something that you were in, because you're not me. You actually quite like people. Yeah.
And for me, who's learning all the specialty stitches, having, you know, next to no knowledge about how to do them, it was great because there was plenty of one-on-one or discussions on how to do it, and so it was very good. Highly recommend. I know they do lots of classes through Stitch Witches, so if you're in the area, well, they'll do a few anyway. And I think, you know, they're doing through the Embroiderers Guild and whatever.
There are
sorts through there.
There are so many opportunities if you want to be with people.
Yeah, but no, 2 thumbs up. It was absolutely fantastic, both of them.
You were exhausted though, weren't you?
So tired, because I'd gone up early to go to Invercargill. So for those of you who aren't in New Zealand, Invercargill is 2.5 hours south of Dunedin. So it's, you know, 5-6 hours by the time you do a couple of stops. 6 hours in the car, a couple of hours in Invercargill doing what we went down for, and then straight to the class. The class goes for an hour and a half. Home at 8 o'clock, absolutely buzzing.
But you'd already had the weekend.
Oh, the weekend full. Yeah, that was 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock. So long days and learning lots of new things. The days went so fast.
And you went out on Saturday night. Like this was a lot.
It was a lot. For me, I like to spend maybe an hour outside of my house on the weekend. Like being at home. So I was out a lot. It was very social.
Nice.
So I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm looking forward to quite a weekend this way.
When you've made friends in the embroidery community, then you can introduce me. But
Okay.
when you've sussed them all out.
We'll suss them out, yeah. We'll let you know which ones are the dodge ones. No, everyone was very lovely.
It could be more like, oh yeah, Catherine. They would get Catherine.
Yeah.
They could put up. Oh, that's wonderful. So when are you going to show us the excesses of your purchasing?
When we get to that section. Yeah, see, I'm being firm and vague, a little bit vague. So I'll show you when we get to it.
You know, earlier when I arrived, because we talked for about 5 minutes before we started filming, she was all confession-y. It's like, oh, I've got something to tell you.
Because I was like, I hadn't told Catherine I'd signed up for the second stitch along, and I was like, Catherine, I have to tell you something.
So funny.
Because now there was a comment in last week's Flosstube video from someone who was wanting to do a stitch along for Gigi R's Red Deer that I thought I responded to, but have not. Oh. And I'm very keen to do it. If we could start in a few weeks, I'll definitely send a message to that person. But I'm definitely keen to start that stitch along.
Great.
And anyone else who wants to partake.
Very good.
Okay, that's a lot of talking, mostly from me, which is unusual.
I made her.
Shall we get on to fully finished objects? Have you got any? Yeah, nothing from me either. What about a finished object?
Nothing. Oh yeah. No, they're not cross stitches, so they come later.
Wait till the second part.
Yeah.
Okay, so no one's really achieved anything.
I didn't really do much cross stitch at all.
That's okay. Sometimes you just don't.
Yeah, and my second week was kind of a write-off. So it was like in the first week I did some cross stitch, and then. So I've got whips.
You got whips? Yep, I've got whips.
Do you want to go first? Because you kind of set up and I'm not.
So I will do. This is the 2017 Linen and Threads.
Oh, your mum one.
My mum one.
Your mum's one.
My mum one, for those of you who don't know.
It's now being called that.
The mum's one. Yeah, my mum's one. Sorry, I'm not as organised as I thought I was.
So have you finished April now?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good though.
2017 Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler. That's it all together.
But you started in 2021.
Yeah, I started it a year ago, and I have now completed. Sorry, it's just a loose thread.
Okay.
I've completed May, and I've completed April, and I've started May.
Is May only that deep?
No, May's about that big again. But I've only just. Oh, but I love this. This is 1/1 on possibly a 36 count. I'm not entirely certain. Just with one colour of DMC. I don't know what it is, but it's so pretty.
Oh, you don't know the name, the number?
Oh, I do, but not right off the top of my head.
Oh, okay, because I was going to say, it's such a gorgeous blue.
Yeah.
You'd want to.
Oh, I know what it is, but I just don't have it next to me. But, so it was that band there that we've completed.
That's very lovely. It's so beautiful.
I quite enjoy this because once you've done one or two, it's because the bands are repetitive. You don't need to pattern it. You don't need to pattern. You just look next door. Exactly.
Yeah, I enjoy that about patterns.
And
I have to say.
And when you get to the end, sometimes it matches up.
Nobody cares. You just fudge it.
Yeah.
Can I have a look now?
You can have a look. I've held that in front of people for long enough.
Yeah. So pretty. And I don't think anyone does this, but when I see these patterns, because I don't like to be told what to do, I always think, oh, you could just do this one thing on a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I don't think anybody does that. I think people just buy more patterns. They mean to do this,
yeah.
Use them for other things, but they just get carried away because there's so many beautiful patterns out there. This is very beautiful.
Excuse me.
I might do elements of this after.
Oh, I don't know if you can see it in the pattern. I can't wait to get to the bees and then the acorns. Love the bees.
There's something beautiful about acorns, I have to say. I mean, bees are almost a cliche, like they're always lovely.
Yes.
But acorns as well, I've been maybe it's an autumn thing.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, acorns.
Yeah.
Oh, but I like this flower as well.
Yeah, the whole thing is lovely.
Yeah. It's all very lovely. Speaking of beautiful threads, I'm going to do a thing. I am going to order, I think I'll have to order it because I don't think you can just buy it. I am going to start dyeing my own floss.
Oh!
I've decided, naturally dyeing
So you're going to get a cone of...
I'm going to get a wee cone of white.
Nice.
because when I dye, there is always some leftover dye in the dye pot. So I thought, I'll just do that. Just messing around, you know, because I can.
Nice.
So that's kind of my new thing that I've decided. I decided in a moment of leisure that I needed
That's
to do
excellent.
that.
Well, you've had such great success in dyeing the fabric.
Yeah, and I've been dyeing for a long time, so you know, you gotta keep it fresh.
You do.
Okay, so my first whip is called Consider the Lilies. So this is part of a sal that I am doing with Mel from Patchy Pony Stitcher. I actually don't know how often Mel is embroidering. I don't know if in her mind she's doing like once a week or once a month. I don't know.
Sure.
But our sal has a hashtag which is across the Tasman Lilies, because I live in Dunedin in New Zealand and she lives in Tasmania in Australia.
We need to get a map.
And the Tasman Sea is between those two countries. So initially we thought we would do Southern Pacific Lilies or something like that. But I thought that was, people might think we live in a hot country. And Tasmania and Dunedin are similar temperature. Yeah, you know, maybe even a little bit colder there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she's shown footage of like Ophir type frost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think she's on the colder side of Tasmania. Anyway, so it's great fun. This is such a beautiful pattern. So it's this one, and of course, Mel is being a complete grown-up and using the colours they suggest. I'm not. Do you like my home hair?
I'm loving your home here.
I worked from home for the last 3 days, and this morning I worked from home, and then I went to work in the afternoon. I just went with home hair.
It's great. You've got beautiful
Whatever. Whatever. Anyway, so this is the fabric that I had dyed with New Zealand flax, and so I love it. And I've just made a bit more progress. And I've done that thing where you do on both ends. Will they match? Do we care?
Nobody knows.
See, I've got some here and I've got some here. So I can't remember which is a bit, but anyway, I love this so much. I am so in love.
It's gorgeous.
It is so beautiful, so beautiful.
And that was a 40 count you dyed, wasn't it? So it's got to be at least a 43.
It's 42, 43. Yeah. And it's tiny. I love it. I'm just so beyond delighted with this. I was quite surprised at how little it came out, because I've seen some people do really massive ones, and in the pattern I think they use a 28 count. So of course that's much bigger.
Yeah, that's twice the size, isn't it?
No.
Almost.
No, because it's almost 30 versus just over 40. So no.
Fine, it's a third bigger.
Yeah, whatever. Some maths.
It's
bigger.
some maths bigger?
Yeah. God. I was trying to talk to my team today, and in my new job, where, you know, you'd think I want to impress people, and I wasn't sure if something was billions or millions. And so I ended up saying things like, and then there's 5 something. So shiny. Anyway, I'm super happy. I love this so much. I could do with a better light bulb. I have a great light by my bed, but I think with this being 42,
yeah,
or maybe just my age. Anyway, it's very pretty. I've made some mistakes, but I love the mistakes because it means that the leaves are going the other way, like they do in nature.
Nice.
Sometimes I do unpick when it's like, the leaves would not make the same decision twice. So I unpick it. So anyway, I'm just using my own, you know, whatever. But I did notice, I think I have a love affair with this green. I think I've used it on the borders of 2 things now.
It's a good green.
Yes, but the amazing thing is that I actually have the number. It's a DMC 580.
So when you run out, you can buy more, because obviously it's a preferred.
I mean, when I run out, I can buy more, but I actually also like the idea of finishing it in a different colour.
Yeah. I mean, just for future projects, because you know it's a...
Because I do love it.
It is a green that you are drawn to.
Yeah. So, anyway, I really recommend that if you want to join us. I mean, anybody can join if they want to. It's just a bit of fun that we've called it Across the Tasman Lilies.
Nice.
Because, yes. So, I do love this pattern. It's by Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery. I think she's so clever.
That name. How lucky was she to be Beth Twist? That's awesome.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was lovely. What about you?
So the next one is my Sweet Pea Bunny by La Di Da.
So I don't know if you've watched it, but Jess, there's a new podcast,
Ooh.
Little by Piku.
I think you...
I've mentioned.
Yeah,
I've mentioned her. And she's very swayed by the La Di Da bunnies.
I'm in love with the La Di Da bunnies. And I'm doing it on 32 count, which is what the pattern calls for. But I'm doing it on Fox and Rabbit Prehistoric, I think. So it's a little bit darker than the... than whatever the fabric is that the pattern calls for. But it's what they had in stock, and I thought it was beautiful.
What count is it?
32.
I'm very confused by this because sometimes I think it's going to be way bigger and sometimes I think it's going to be smaller.
Because the one, they've got an example of this one stitched up and it's a little in the shop. They must have done it on a smaller count.
46.
Yeah. But it's so lovely. I've done the foot and it's really fun and really easy to stitch. It's a nice relaxing one.
Nice.
Isn't that beautiful?
Nice. Chop chop, Victoria, you can get that one finished.
Yes, you could. I thought I would have it finished, but because I've
You've given your life over to sales.
Pretty much. Classes and sales. Right, do you have another?
Yes. We should say that we've been thinking of having a little escapade.
Yes.
To maybe Invercargill.
Yeah.
So if anybody is in the Invercargill area and they would like to meet up for a stitch and a coffee,
Yeah.
we're going to probably go in a couple of weeks or something like that.
Yeah, well, I've financially recovered from my weekend.
Things that happen when I'm not around.
I know. I could hear you judging over the back of my corner.
I'm not so much judging as restraining for dear life.
No, Victoria. You need to buy petrol.
Victoria earns well. She can do whatever she wants. And she works hard. She definitely can do whatever she wants. But it's more fun to be critical. Oh my God. I don't know if I've told you about this, but I've got a new obsession.
Oh, I think I got it in a text, but then it was in a big conversation and we didn't go back to your new obsession.
Oh my God.
You need to, I know what it is though, it's fabulous.
Oh God, I love this so much. Okay, so this, I'm going to take it out of the bag because it's so pretty. So this is by Stacy Nash, Primitives. I think Stacy Nash and I would be friends.
Stacy Nash does some beautiful work.
She's kind of a cool lady.
Not some, Stacy Nash does beautiful work.
Yes. I want to listen to her. I want her to be interviewed so that I can see what she's like and I can decide if we truly are friends. Kindred spirits.
Kindred spirits, friggin'.
Like Anne of Green Gables would say. Anyway, so this is beautiful. This is one of those ridiculous pin cushions that are just too big to be a pin cushion, which makes them perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought I would start in the bottom bit, which is
my favourite bit of that
which is,
pattern.
Let's just call it water and birds.
It's ducks on a pond, isn't it?
Well, I initially agreed with you.
Yes.
But there are plants in there that do not seem to belong in a pond. So I don't know.
Duckweed.
Whatever. Anyway, it's full coverage. That section is full coverage. And I have realised I love full coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can spot the intentional error if you want to. But it doesn't matter because it's in the middle. I'm obsessed.
It's fun.
This was like 3 flipping out. I don't know. It was a whole evening's work. And I posted it on Instagram and Paolo was like, "Yay, Dan!" I was like, "No, that's just half." I love this so much.
The full coverage is great. So the was it the peacock, the unicorn, and the badger one that I'm doing by Scarlet Letter? They've got, I think, quite a few full coverage ones.
Yeah, it reminded me of my tapestry phase. I did some tapestry. I stopped doing tapestry when I made a cushion, and because I do everything in hand, it was very wonky. And then they told you how to straighten it if you ended up with a wonky fabric. But that seemed like too much effort, so I have a very almost trapezoid cushion, and that kind of was a bit disheartening.
Oh.
But I couldn't be asked to fix it. So I think there will be more full coverage things in my future, but I am full of restraint. So I said to Victoria, I think there'll be some full coverage in my future. And she was like, yeah, let's do a shop. And I said, yes, probably for Christmas.
Well, then I said yes, so let's book it in for October, because then it would be here.
Yeah.
I've already got like 4 things in my trolley.
I actually just thought anything can be full coverage.
That is true.
that I already have. I'll
That
just
is
fill
very
it.
true. Just fill it in.
So because I'm a cheapo, I probably will just fill something in.
You take the joy out of life.
I do squeeze
Suck it.
all the fun out. You're welcome. Now, but come on, this is totally objectively beautiful,
It
right?
is gorgeous.
I mean, my gorgeous choice of colours, which is random turquoise and random green, is
I'm loving the green.
so pretty.
Are they white patches you've put in
They
it?
are
Yeah,
white
they're-
patches, yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is that just the fabric showing beyond? But the fabric
No,
is
no, no.
brown, so, you know.
No. And this is the fabric that I dyed with avocado.
Is this your
Pits.
mystery fabric?
This might be some that you gave me
Oh,
from the mystery fabric.
sure.
Yeah. I'm a scrounger.
We do love a good mystery fabric.
I am a scrounger. But I'm so happy with this. So if you're
It's gorgeous.
tempted, you should totally be tempted by this pattern. It's so pretty. Victoria's gonna make it as well
I will, because it's gorgeous.
because we both love it. And these are my colours. So, is it Rachel? The dyer that has this Flosstube now.
Yes, from tree. No.
Not tree.
But it's got something to do with nature.
It's something on flax. So
Needle
she's-
and flax, isn't it? Or something?
Needle and flax.
Something, maybe.
Something like that, maybe. Anyway, she's super funny. I really like her. We could be friends. She's always showing her fancy bags because everybody does the really fancy things, and she's got these Ziploc bags. She goes like, "Oh yeah, and these are my flosses in my fancy bag." So she's copying me.
You have inspired the public.
Funny.
Lovely.
Yeah, so I'm very happy with this. Oh my god, my hair is so bad. It's like a triangle.
I love it. I think it's great. And
I have a
I love
complex.
how it's salt and pepper and then it's black.
It is.
It's
yeah.
great. It's like two-tone.
Well, I have a complex because Maria. Do you know Maria at the university? Maria gave me a complex.
From Health and Safety?
No, she used to work for ITS.
No.
She used to teach
Oh.
computer. Anyway, Maria is amazing. Maria, if you ever were to watch this, you're amazing. But I remember we were talking about hair because she has curly hair and she spends on her hairdresser.
Sure.
She doesn't do it herself. And she said to me, "Oh, you know, different people do different things, and I know that your hair is a triangle." Anyway, I'm having lunch with her on Monday, and I sent her an invitation, a lunch invitation, going, "My triangle hair," because wearing masks, it
yeah.
totally does the
Yeah.
your hair, you know, here, and then it goes triangle. So it's
Yeah.
all very upsetting. That's not embroidery related.
Oh,
Anyway,
we are good for the tangents.
so that was two. I've got one more. You got another one?
I've got 1.5 more.
Great.
So, one of my new patterns, this is Gigi R ATS 1871.
And before you cheated on this project with your classes, you were obsessed
I
with
was
this.
obsessed with this one. And now I've got so many I'm obsessed with that I just want to quit work and sew.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, I have said before, but this here is the pattern. So, it's a long, thin one. And what's shown over here is a blow up of 3 or 4 of the rows in there. So, I have done, or I've started, this bit at the very top.
Oh, that was my tummy.
Oh, I didn't get as much done. I must have got distracted earlier.
Funny.
But what have we got? We've got a couple of random stitches up here. There's a branch, and then there's the back of the bird.
Yeah, so you're doing this bird here.
No.
Sorry, this bird here.
Yes, that bird there.
Hang on. That one.
Yep. And I'm doing it on 40 count antique ivory or something. I don't know. It's just a Zygarde. But it's lovely. And
Nice.
It's one of those ones that will be a slow go because every row needs to be
You
counted.
have 1,200 projects.
That too. That too.
Why does it have to be counted?
Because
Every
there's no
row?
repetitive. There's no repetitive
okay.
pattern in it. So like for the one I'm doing for Mum, where you just have to do one bit and then you 5 other bits that are exactly the same.
See, my favourite bit is this dovecot.
Yeah, I love that.
Very pretty.
It's gorgeous. I like the peacock down the bottom too. It's hard to tell. So Gigi R, I hear, always puts photos of the originals on the cover,
The antiques, yeah. So the
which
ones
is
that are
beautiful,
munted,
but often
yeah.
faded and slightly hard to see.
But that in itself has a certain beauty, which is why people buy them.
Yeah, absolutely.
God, I'm falling asleep.
Oh, it's all right. Maybe we'll be a short one tonight.
You can poke me with your scissors.
Okay, so that's all my whips that I've been working on.
I've just got one more. And this is Le Poulet, which for this can decipher means the chicken. It's the chicken, right? Not the bird, the chicken.
Yeah.
So this is from Blackbird Designs, and I've got my working copy because I bought the book. So a couple of episodes ago, I showed you the book that I bought.
It's La-di-da, isn't it?
No.
No?
Blackbird Designs.
Yeah, no, but the Ooh La La is what the book is called, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. There were oohs and ahs in it, I knew that.
Yeah. So this is the design, and I liked it because to me this reads as patchwork quilting. So that's lovely. I like it when my I've talked about this, about how different crafts talk to each other, and so this is the antique. It was actually the munted, nasty looking antique that I was drawn to. It's very lovely. Anyway, and as I said before, I don't want to lose my threads. Yeah, I was really pleased because I've used Paula's orange that she gave me for Christmas. So I'm delighted with that. And then I chose my random colors for the grid, for the patchwork bit. I'm not so pleased with that because, I mean, I think it looks great. Halfway through, I thought, oh, that's too garish, Catherine. Mute them down. So I did start adding like a bit more somber colors. But overall, I wanted it to look a little bit more somber. So I might tea dye it. I might just tea dye the rectangle of that when I'm done.
Nice.
Because what's the worst that can happen?
You're steaming through that one.
It's very straightforward. I actually thought I was going to finish it. It was so fast and very moored. If my week hadn't gone wrong, I would have finished it.
Yeah.
So don't you just love the chicken?
The chicken is gorgeous.
And I was like, I'll do a grey one like the picture. There we go. Love it.
Beautiful.
So I'm super happy with this. And the best thing about doing these little projects is I get to torture Martin. And I'm like, darling, do you want to see what I did tonight? The poor man doesn't care.
Oh.
And he's like, very lovely, darling.
He's a good supportive husband.
It's so funny because he's such a morning person. He wakes up at 4:45. No, is it 4:45?
Like on purpose?
No, he wakes up at 5:30 every day.
On purpose?
On purpose. And I've been waking up at 4:30 every day for going on for 2 weeks now. So eyes a little bit dead. What's my point?
Martin is great.
He's great, but yeah, he's a morning person. So by the time he gets to bed at 9:30, 10, he does not want to have a conversation about cross stitch or any other craft. But I'm a night owl, so I'm like, darling, look at this. Let me just show you these things.
Oh,
it's great.
Perfect.
He amuses. He humors me.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's it for stitchy goodness. Cross stitch goodness.
I will. Do you have any shopping?
Get comfortable. Go to the toilet.
Yeah.
If I not cross stitch. Is this mine? Oh no, it's
No,
yours.
that's mine.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting on it. Sorry.
Sitting on my work. I was just wondering what I'd done with it too.
Oops. My shopping is not cross stitch, so that comes at the end, right?
Yeah. So I will do the shopping that I've started. So
I'll lean back and relax because this might take a while.
no, it won't take a while. So the stitch along that I've started, I haven't got a colour picture of it, but what it is it's all of these diagonal bands. It's in like a gradiated rainbow, so there's pinks and blues and grey. I don't know what the hell colour combination it is. And these bits here are not just in cross stitch, but they are in cross stitch. But the ones along here, these are all specialty stitches, the dark ones along there. Specialty stitches, so it's been really fun.
And the reason... Nothing.
So, this is what I've got so far. I'm doing it on 40 count nougat that's been expertly creased by our artists.
What did you call it?
Nougat, or is it? Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Nougat. Yeah, no, that's how you pronounce it. I was just thinking about Americans don't call it nougat.
Nougat.
Pipe
T is
up.
silent.
Pipe up. No, the G, you're pronouncing the G.
The T is
Oh,
silent.
okay, yeah.
Nougat. Because I don't know.
I think Americans might say nugget. And that's a true fact thing. I'm not making up. So if you're American, let us know how you pronounce it. Because that's fun for me.
So, a few new things for me.
Victoria's like,
I was like,
shush, Catherine.
Shut up. I'm showing my thing. I have blocked out or marked out in just a sacrificial thread every 10 squares. So, because the pattern goes down diagonally, I wanted to make sure that I was starting and finishing sort of more or less in the right places.
Oh, please, not more or less. You wanted to know exactly that it was exactly right.
That is true. So, I've done the first cross stitch bit, and then I have got some herringbone stitch going down there, which was really fun.
Check you out with your knowledge of names.
And then this one is a
Modified Smyrna cross.
Smyrna cross, thank you. And then there's some eyelets coming in the next row.
Do you know, I am the embroidery in this relationship and I have not done a Smyrna cross, so you win. Not that we were competing.
But it's so much fun, and I'm so enjoying trying out I'm calling them specialty stitches. I'm not sure if that's actually what...
I think they're just called...
I know in a lot of floss tubes, if there's a stitch in it that's not cross-stitched, they tend to get called a specialty stitch.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I don't know who invented that word. It's just an embroidery
A different stitch, yeah.
And there's just as many surface embroidery stitches as there are counted cross stitches. So,
yeah.
6 of one to half a dozen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you're enjoying the stitching.
I'm so loving it. And then it's got really clear instructions on how to do the specialty ones, which is fantastic for me. But something that I found interesting, and I think I can show this, it's just instructions.
Yeah, I mean, you showed a pattern.
No, I didn't, I only showed that.
That's a pattern. I'm not saying it's a problem, because nobody can see anything. But
Well, it's not really a pattern, it's just, it doesn't matter. So, cross stitches, right?
Oh, are they breaking the rules?
No, I just love it. So apparently there are 2 methods of how to do cross stitch. One of them is the English method, and the other one is the Danish method. And the English method is completing each stitch as you go. So, lower corner to top corner from lower corner, like that, and then moving on to your next one.
One stitch at a time, fully done.
Yeah, fully done, as long as you go.
So that's the English way, is it?
That's the English way. And the Danish method is what I have always done up until now, which is where you go, over, and then you come back and finish the crosses on your way back. I just thought that was really interesting, because there was my learning curve about the overdyed flosses and how a lot of people recommend, it is recommended, I'm being more easy, it is recommended that you do what I have now discovered is called the English method, where you complete the cross and then move on to the next cross.
I don't like those definitions, because I am sure there were plenty of English people that had figured out you can just keep going.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there are. It just tickled me, because I know that we had conversations about it.
I have heard people talk about the Danish method and the English method. It does come up in certain floss tubes.
Yeah.
It's interesting to do the learnabouts around crafts, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Fact-finding.
The fact-finding.
Good fun.
So,
sorry, I missed. What colour did you say that was? That linen?
nougat.
Oh, nougat, of course. I was just too distracted by...
And it's a lovely, would you call that a taupe?
Yeah.
Brownie beige.
Yeah.
It's pretty. And I had to buy all of it on the night, because I didn't have anything, including...
Oh, that is so hard that you had to do that,
I know.
Victoria.
I had to buy the pattern, which was fine. Had to buy the fabric. Had to buy the flosses.
How big was the fabric? Because that's a big piece.
It's a fat quarter, but it's not quite that big.
Okay.
And, even though I'm sure people would have lent me things, I had to buy needles. And, of course, I had to buy myself a new pair of scissors. Because them's the rules, and how cool are they? And they had lots of choices for the colours at the top, but I liked the red.
Which reminds me, Kim from Cataloguing My Stitches. Kim, if you're watching, say hi so we know you're okay, because you've disappeared.
Oh, I hope you're alright, Kim.
But she had asked for a parade of your scissors.
Oh, she had 2.
So you can totally do a parade now, because you have another one.
I don't have them here.
No, I know. I don't mean now. I mean
Oh.
that, but it could be something that we do because
Yes.
she thought it would be fun to see your collection.
I'll definitely show. I've been looking out for a, I want to find a really nice scissor block. Oh, look, there's a wee coloured picture of it. There we go. Oh, and it's called the Twisted Band Sampler.
I do like that you do that with your little pattern.
Yeah.
Cute.
So that's not really in focus, but you can see the colours. And I haven't put all the colours on, just the 6 that I've purchased.
Is it DMC?
Yeah. Yep, not just DMC, but yes, it's DMC. Hey, beautiful little.
She's showing off her wee
Yeah.
method.
I love my floss drops.
Very cute.
And I had to buy a hoop, so I'm going to show you the hoop that I bought. It's a 9-inch hoop, which is larger than my preferred 7.5 to 8-inch hoop.
Now, you were talking about preferences.
Yes.
Are you happy with this hoop? Because you seem to be I know, a little bit snobby about your hoops. Okay, so Victoria says, oh, you know the cheap and nasty ones from Spotlight. And I was like, that's what I buy.
But you don't sew in a hoop generally, do you?
No. But sometimes I would have.
Oh, and these are the DMCs that I did already have in my collection, but I didn't have them with me on the night, so I had to buy more.
Nice orange.
Aren't they pretty? I found the last hoop that I bought from, well, you've already said it, Spotlight. It was quite splintery. Like, it wasn't, I felt it would pull the threads and things. This is from Stitch Witches, and it is
Can you have a try?
a nudge?
Nudge.
Nougat. And it's lovely and smooth, and
I wonder if
I
this
don't
is
feel like it's
Norwegian.
going to splinter at all.
Because it does nougat. I don't know. It is smooth, you're right. And I actually think it's thinner.
Yes, it is. It's like, what I reckon that's 8 mil, and I reckon the other one's about 12.
I have seen someone talking about hoops, and I can't remember where it was. And there was a new sort of hoop that had a ridge along here. So when you trapped your fabric, it actually didn't shift.
Yeah.
was
I've
interesting.
had one of those as a plastic one. I wasn't a big fan.
No, this was wooden. Yeah, she was very delighted with it.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. But
No doubt in
does feel
6
very
weeks'
nice.
time when I see it, and I'll have to buy one. But I got a new hoop. I got new scissors. I got threads. I got needles, but you know what needles look like. Oh, yeah. And then I threw in something else.
Oh, beading.
So this is...
Oh, my lord.
Yeah, I know.
She tricked me.
No, I hadn't bought it when I sent it to
You
you.
made it sound like you were thinking about it and you'd seen it online. You blooming purchased
Oh, no.
it.
So, when I was at Stitch Witches doing the Home Sweet Home on Saturday and Sunday,
That's the kit thingy.
that's the kit thing, I saw this pattern and I really liked it. And I thought, hang on, Tori, you've got no money. Because it was
That's never
mortgage
stopped
week.
her.
Oh no, literally, I didn't have enough money for it. I was $2 short. So when I was
Bank rules have changed. Apparently, they don't have to honor your if you don't have $2, they'll be like, we don't have to pay it. So be careful.
So I bought it when I was there on Tuesday doing my own floss buying.
And this is why embroidery shops put on classes
Yeah, I know.
for people like you.
This is why they don't mind when I turn up at 20 past, don't have anything. So this is Just Nan, still Queen of the Needle. And it's just the pincushion pattern, this one.
Oh, is that pincushion?
It's a pincushion.
I thought it was a case.
Octagonal cube. I think it's a pincushion.
Let's have a look.
You have a look at the pattern while I talk
Okay,
about it.
yeah.
But there is a mouse not in the pattern, so you buy the mouse separately, the pattern for the mouse. Stitch Witches was sold out, but they have kindly ordered one for me.
Oh, how generous of them. Thank you, Stitch Witches.
Oh, but it's so cute. And look, there's a wee mouse riding a turtle on the base. I don't think you can see that very clearly. And there's bunnies and beehives and birdies, and I just really loved it. And the saying on it, I can't. It's not on here.
In my little kingdom of stitches that cross, I'm queen of the needle, still boss of the floss.
Yep. And it came with the beads and the charm. And I really liked it because A, it's pink. And it just tickled me. And B, I liked it because it's an object and I'm trying to get more object finishes.
You know, you were quite giddy about it. Like, obviously it hit some
It just
spot.
hit, yeah. I know it's not for everybody, but it really, I really liked it.
I know I'm pretending to be stern, but, you know,
Yeah.
this is your hobby, right?
It's so cute. I'm pretty pleased. I can't wait to start that. I've got to find some.
I want to see the beads and stuff.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
So, something said Krynic. Is that thread?
What does it say?
On the list, my eye flew down to Krynic.
Oh, Chronic number 4 braid. That is, it's a metallic braid, isn't it? I think that I've looked at getting... There's limited supply of it in New Zealand. Limited places that stock it, and
Is
I
it
think
gold?
it is.
I've got some gold thread if you want to use it. It's quite thick. I'm not probably never going to use it. I bought it in Peru.
Oh, I'm sure I'll find something. But I know that when I was doing some of the Barbara Anna ones, the metallics called up Krynic, and I couldn't find the colours I wanted in New Zealand. Thank you. So it might be a while before I start that because I've got to find bits and pieces, but I'm very keen to start it because it's so cute. Right, that's all my shopping.
All of it all together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
So other stuff.
So, good shopping fun was had by all. Okay, other stuff. I finished my socks.
Woohoo!
So, these are... what did I do? Oh, so these are... I'm wearing my slippers with the same yarn, and I had yarn left over, and I thought, oh, I'll just make socks. So I cast on 40 stitches.
Was this yarn that you pulled off a jersey or something?
Yeah. I bought a jumper second hand, and then I made a waistcoat. I wear that to work with a white shirt.
Yeah.
So these are my socks. I'm very happy that I intend to wear them as house socks, sort of in lieu of slippers, not for walking. I'm not sure 8-ply socks would be comfortable for walking. I don't know.
No.
I might. I don't know.
I feel that it would make your shoes feel nice and tight and snuggly, but sweaty.
No, I'm more concerned about the sole of your foot, because the imprint of the big stitches might actually be a bit sore. I don't know. I'll try it. But I'm super happy because, you know, I don't like to kind of like have things lying around. So I'm very happy about these.
Excellent.
Don't they look funny? They fit perfectly like a glove.
It is a very sort of cartoon profile
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And Christina has smaller feet than me, like maybe half a size smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure her feet are slimmer than mine. I have dainty feet. But I think she found them too tight because I offered them to her in case she wanted them, because I don't see my baby very often. So I'm like, what can I give you, sweetie? Can I give you this? Do you want this? I'm very funny. So anyway, I'm very happy with these. So that was great. And then I just want to show you the progress because I haven't finished this. But this is going really well.
You've got the belly tube bit done.
The belly tube.
Belly tube.
Okay. You and your fancy terminology.
I made that up.
So I've done the front as far as where I'm going to split up for the neck. So I'm super happy with this. Such a beautiful colour. Oh, and you know that cowl that I made? You know,
Yes.
I made 2 cowls. I'm not
Yes.
going to write a pattern because life's short and I work full time now. But I'm going to use that pattern because that's going to be my gift for
Oh,
people.
lovely.
So, I'm not going to... So I made 2 different ones and they're for 2 different friends. But I gave Claire the other one.
Nice.
Because I thought that...
Quiz Claire or Sewing Claire?
Quiz Claire.
Quiz Claire. Lucky girl.
Yeah, because I thought that would be really handy in winter.
Yeah.
And she likes that colour. It was kind of like a brownie mustard. I think she would like that. So I am taking baby steps in gifting
You
things.
are. You're doing very well.
Yes, I have not given Victoria anything.
No, that's not true. You made me a pincushion.
I did, and it was very adorable.
It is gorgeous.
And that was from years ago. Obviously, I was traumatised from giving you that. I've never given you anything else. I'm a terrible giver of my things that I make. Unless you're my baby. I don't like to give my things away. I'll get over myself. Also, another thing, shock horror. I've unravelled my cardigan.
Why?
Because I darned it.
Yeah, numerous times, if I
Which
remember
I'm
correctly.
very happy to. I'm very happy to have darned clothes.
Yeah.
It started getting holes under the armpit pit. And I thought, right, okay. Because I do want to use this colour because it's bright yellow and I love it. So I'm going to make myself either another cardigan because I do have another ball at home. Do you know, all this was a cardigan.
Can I just say those are wonderfully round balls?
I know, right?
Yeah.
It was a pain to unravel.
Oh, I bet it was heartbreaking.
No, not really. I'm not bothered. If you can make, you can unmake, and then you can make again.
Oh, did you dye that or did you buy that yellow?
No, I bought this from Eastern Europe somewhere.
It's beautiful.
Because in New Zealand, you can't really buy bright colours.
So, what did you... So, obviously it was getting thin in places, and I'm assuming that means the strands were getting thin. What, do you just cut those out, or...?
No, so what happened was, I knitted it top down in one piece.
Yes.
But, as you can see here, all the increases are kind of mixed around.
Mm-hmm.
The design of the yellow cardigan was raglan, so there was like one very defined line of increases on the four corners, so 2 at the front and 2 at the back. But I had chosen to do them in a lace style.
Yes.
So with a lace style, you do have like single strands.
Yes.
Which is fine, but I have learned from this project. So the lace increases all the way down mean that under my arm, where there's a lot of friction, there was single threads.
Yeah.
And so they're the ones to go.
Yes, but that means I would have thought you'd have multiple lengths of wool.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes, there's been a few multiples, but that's fine. But I've also realized, because I do like that lacy increase, now I know that I would do a lacy increase to about there, and then I would make it
Reinforced.
just invisible,
Yeah.
so you don't have these floaty single ones.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really pleased because if I didn't unravel it, it would have. I couldn't wear it like that anymore.
Yeah.
It would have sat there for months or years. But now that it's unraveled, it's more of a usable product again.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. So I encourage you all, if you want to undo something or whatever. I've still got lipstick on this. I haven't washed it. Anyway, I've done, see my lipstick, I'm annoyed at that. Made loads of progress on my vintage shirt, and I'll show you what I did.
Oh my goodness, I haven't seen it. It's fabulous.
Yeah, so what have I done?
That.
I think I did 2 things.
I think those are new too.
No. Yeah, so maybe this is some sort of daisy-like flower. And then this one here.
So it's like pink forget-me-nots. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, whatever. You know, they're the invented flowers. So I did that. And then I went all around the... Right, so so this is the blouse. And so you get these flaps at the end where I have the little houses. So then on the edges, I put French knots all along. Are these French? No, these are not the French knots. I just did a little kind of stabby stitch all along there. And then I did like a funny little zigzag stitch. And then I came back and I did a little dot above it, all along the bottom. And then, the light's funny, French knots, quite large pronounced French knots. And then some more French knots. And then Martin said, oh, Victoria's not going to like that. And then wonky crosses.
Great. The whole thing looks amazing.
Yeah, I think I can start. I was thinking of wearing this for the talk about the house. Because I'm weird anyway.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
might as well like
Just
see
go
me as
full hippie.
the new weirdo in Waikouaiti.
Yeah.
So I'm so pleased about this. I still have to do, I plan to do lots of vegetation at the moment.
Are you going to wrap it right round? Because I noticed the back is very blank. It's a big canvas.
No, I'm going to do more things in the back. I always do the same thing.
We could do some specialty stitches. I can show you.
Yeah, but I would call them speciality.
Yeah, they do.
Maybe I should try some Smyrna crosses.
Yeah.
And then I would win again.
I've got great instructions on how to do them.
Yes, I would be actually. I should expand my repertoire. I do the same thing over and over. But yes, I've got all this canvas. It's a blank canvas to do things. So I quite like that you're
Maybe
doing
you should do a family
words.
portrait.
No, No, I've got a plan for drawing. One of the things that I love, I am a cliche, I do like the moon phases.
Yes.
So that. The other thing as well was to draw the world. So just a circle with like Latin America sort of in the front.
Cool.
Anyway, the idea is that I wear this and every so often, once it's been washed, I embroider a bit more on it. That's the idea, that I just keep adding to it. So I'm super excited about progress, but obviously I do want to get every stalk to have some sort of flowers. So I will do that soon. And my other one, I've dyed it twice now, really badly. Because I'm lazy. I was like, couldn't be bothered to mordant it. So I was like, I'll just see how it turns out without mordanting badly. But of course I know that, well, it doesn't matter because I will mordant it later and then do it again. So it's just too hard with Waikawahiti having half the stuff and all that.
You're a little bit, your craft stuff's a bit disconjointed at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
Just your
That's
stash.
so difficult. Very difficult. Anyway, so today I got home and I am sad. Like, I live for the post. And half the story is that I don't buy, like, nobody writes to me, let's be honest.
Oh, all right, yeah.
I mean, who writes?
I don't know what your address is, but
Actually, retain that thought.
okay.
And so I also don't pay attention to which are the post days because the postie doesn't come every day. They come 3 times a week or 4 times a week, something like that. So anyway, and I am that sad. I check the post box every day, and then every day Martin says it's not a post day. So anyway, today we were arriving. Martin knew I was very tired, so he was like, "Ooh, what sort of day is it today?" And I was like, "I don't know, because nobody sends me anything, and I haven't bought anything." Anyway, just hidden inside the door was my parcel from Quilt Folk.
Excellent.
And I was so happy because I do mean to make a postage stamp quilt. So that was like, Catherine, sort yourself out.
Oh, cute.
Yes. Anyway, I want to show you a couple of pages because I was just so happy. I haven't looked at it yet.
So how long have you subscribed to this magazine? Or do you just buy the odd issue?
No, I've subscribed. I've come off the subscription. I've gone back on the subscription.
Have you then had to go back and buy the ones that were issued in between because your numbers wouldn't match?
No, I'm not bothered about that. But I am bothered about having them because they're
so beautiful.
They are so beautiful. And I really like... they've got Cottage. Oh. Anyway. What's my point? Catherine, focus.
You were going to show some quilts because you loved them.
Yes. So just a couple of things that I was just like, oh, see, it was good that whole cloth. Hello. I've got a couple of antique whole cloth ones. Oh. So that's lovely. Not too bothered about the modern ones. Oh, look. I do like a traditional block. Look at that. Beautiful. And also, can I just say, like a jug with a little, like, quilting emblem. I mean, right. So anyway, this was good for the soul. See, obviously we could be friends. She likes
That's reverse
colour.
applique, isn't it?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
Oh.
You'll have to read it after me. I mean, they're just so lovely. And also, there is this quilter. She's quite famous. And her name is... See, this is interesting to me. Her name is Maura Ambrose. But to me, in my head, I read it as Maura, which is a Spanish name.
Ah.
So I wondered if she has Hispanic family, which obviously makes me very excited because I'm like, you're getting double points, like she cares. But she's a fabulous, very creative woman. She dyes naturally for her quilting. So these are some of her samples for fabric. Like, she's a proper dyer. Like, she measures and she records information. And it's also her business. She has her own company. She does retreats, I think. And that's all naturally dyed fabric. I mean, cool lady. And she's bringing up her family, so things are a little bit busy at the moment. So anyway, this was so yes, we're now a quilting podcast. Give me quilt recommendations, quilt podcasts. This is, my life needs more. Oh yeah, I just want to show you one more, which is one of Maura's. Hello.
It's stunning.
Isn't it stunning? She is a clever person, very creative, beautiful work. Her quilts, they sell for some, I mean, she doesn't sell many, but I think they go for like 12,000.
I can see why if she's
And also quilts are very valued in America in a way that far more than they are here.
It's very much tied up in their heritage, isn't it? Because a lot of the quilts, I'm sure.
I don't know. I think quilts are just as tied up in the Canadian heritage, but they don't make such a big song and dance about it. They're quieter, sort of.
Or just in general, aren't they, Americans?
Yeah. So I think it's bigger and better in America, but it's kind of the same.
I just know, watching a lot of the American Antiques Roadshow, a lot of it is like these quilts and stuff. They bring in stunning stuff.
Yeah. But that's impressive, 12,000, I thought, for a quilt. I mean, and actually at 12,000 for someone that dyes their own fabric to then, I think she machined pieces, but hand quilts. That's probably a good hourly rate, I reckon. Yeah.
It seems like a lot on one hand, and on the other hand, I'm like, there's a lot of effort goes into that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I can see the value in it.
Yeah. And she has been interviewed in a YouTube channel, which is by Heidi Parks. So if you Google Heidi Parks on the YouTubes, you'll find it, and it's called something like I've forgotten. But she gets interviewed. So it's 3 quilters. I've talked about them before. 3 quilters, and every time they do one of these, they invite another artist or quilter. So she was one of the invited artists once.
Lovely.
It was very interesting. And it's always interesting to hear. I mean, people are interesting, but it's also really interesting to hear a creative person talk.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was balm for my soul.
Nice.
And of course, then I was like, drat, I'm not going to cancel this subscription, am I?
You've been re-inspired by it.
Unfortunately, I have never been that impressed with the writing. That was why I cancelled it in the first place. I think I demand a lot from writing, I think. But I've decided that I just need to get over myself.
Yeah. That
the writing is fine. It has definitely improved. It changed editors a couple of times, and I think it got much better. And it actually might just be a cultural thing.
Yeah.
That there is an English way of writing that is very different to an American way of writing, and I identify more with an English way of writing. So anyway, definitely recommend this magazine if you're a quilter. Great coffee table book as well. So that's that.
Is that all your others?
That was all my others, but I do have recommendations, Ness.
Do you want me to do my other?
What's your other?
I said home.
You've already talked about this.
Yeah, but I haven't shown anything.
Oh, right.
Oh, you're trying to take my parade,
No, you go
my
for
glory.
it.
So,
it's only an hour and 8 minutes.
Yep. I told you it was going to be a short one tonight. So, in the class, we are working on the house, and each side of the house is a different season. So we're doing the winter, which is the front one, and we are doing, I think it's spring, which is this side here that you can't see. And that's what we're learning. We're learning all the stitches that go into each face, and then the various accoutrements tie into different seasons. So all the stitches are in the house, and then various ones that are in the house also appear.
What's the roof made out of?
The roof is made out of, it's a stitch over a fabric.
Ah, okay.
So if I show you, for example, I'm sorry, I'm looking for a picture. I should have put some post-its in here.
That would be far too efficient from us.
So this is the spring
that's pretty.
side. So this is one of the sides that we've started and learnt on.
That's sweet peas, isn't it?
It is sweet peas.
Oh my goodness, that is adorable.
But you can see that the snail and the pea, it's all echoed in the needlebook. So the idea is that you learn the house and you can do the bits and pieces along with it.
Nice.
And
that looked more like crewel work.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
there's a whole pile of like everything's a different stitch, and that is the winter rose. So those are the 2 faces that we have started on, that we did the weekend just been, and in 8 weeks we will do the other 2 faces and learn the stitches in those.
Nice.
So for those of you that like a kit,
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Yes, of course.
this is the kit that they've so Stitch Witches have put these together themselves, and they've done it really smartly in my opinion. They've ordered the threads and things.
Yeah, this is no plastic bag.
This is great. But so obviously there is so many threads in this. I'll show you the floss.
Cute.
I'll show you the floss drops. So
Oh, you've done them already.
did
Did you do them in class?
No, I did these the night of. So as you can see, there is a whole lots of threads in this, and some of them you hardly use any. So they've split some of the skeins. So you know
To
it's a
keep
bit
the
of
price
a
down
keep
a
the
little
price down, but there's like wools and silks.
What's the wool? So wool.
That's all. I would have said that was a wool.
Yeah, so maybe this is what looked like crewel work.
It could well be.
Oh, and thicker wool.
And there's some, lovely old DMC, some overdyes. There's so much in there. So that's great.
Oh, you've dropped one.
Oh yeah, one of my book rings is a bit dodgy, and it came undone.
Right. And you've got separate threads that are not droppy.
I've got some other threads in there, and all the sorts of needles that you need for your different threads.
Oh, let's have a look. Nosiness.
Nosy.
See, I get to live through Victoria. This is great.
And what else we got in here?
See, crewel needle.
Yeah. And there's felt and a little bit of what do you call this fabric?
Organza.
Organza, thank you. That's
Maybe.
the word I couldn't remember. And there's all sorts of things in here. That's sacrificial fabric, so
What's in the little bit of Tupperware?
that is orts and it's just rubbish. I was being a tidy Kiwi.
Nice.
So
I love the idea that they've done each side of the house
It's a
represents a
different-
season.
So these are very much work in progress, as you would expect. But that is the spring side. And I've got the stalk in there, which is done in a stitch whose name, this might be like a Hungarian chain stitch or something.
Nice.
And there's the start of the snail. So it's got felt up there to bring it up, almost like stump work. And there's organza has been glued when you iron on glue, and then we put stitches over that. So as you can see, I've got a lot to keep up with.
I actually wonder whether your mum would have enjoyed this. For some reason, I got the sense that
I think if she yes.
in the past.
Yeah. And this is winter. So as you can see, I've started the bunny,
Cute.
and this is the door, and you stitch the stitch over this white sacrificial cloth, and then you've got to strand that cloth out so it's not there in the end.
Yeah.
And then you get this really cool pattern on the door.
Nice.
Oh, and I'm loving it. So
You're learning so much.
I'm learning so much. I mean, you're looking at that, and that's like a bajillion hours worth of work. But learning all the different stitches, and here we are. This was a bit of play cloth I had. So we've got some ladder stitch going on. I've got, what else have I got? I've got lazy daisies up there. I've got some grass stitch. I've got raised cross, what is it? Raised something or else, French knots, colonial knots, twisted stitch, I don't know, lots of different things, and I can't remember the name of half of them.
Words.
Fantastic. I was having so much fun.
You must have been so giddy when you got home.
I was so giddy and so tired.
What about the rest of the people in the class? Were they overexcited as well? Or were they being proper grown-ups?
It was I mean, everyone was concentrating. I would have said there were people there who'd done embroidery before, but possibly not to the extent. I mean, there's every element in there is essentially a different stitch. So we were learning 10, 15 stitches a day. Maybe not quite that much. So everyone was concentrating, so it was really quiet. And then you'd stop for a cup of tea or whatever, and then it would get all chatty.
Nice.
And it was great.
Lovely. It sounds well worth it for you.
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
And you probably actually will have enough to do another one if you wanted to.
I was thinking,
Because that's how it is.
I didn't show you the cutest bits. So, there's a lot of charms and beads and things on this. I'm just going to show you some of the charms. Yes, you could definitely do two with the stuff.
Oh, the floss. I can imagine that there's enough of the flosses.
Look, there's a wee beehive. And there is a carrot. Oh, the light's a bit weird tonight. There's a carrot. And I won't show you all of them. Here's another bunny. Come into focus? No. And my favourite one, where are you? Can I get him? Oh, there's a lizard in there. That's my favourite one, but I'll show you that another time. Oh.
You can pause it.
Yeah. While I rifle through. What do we got?
Oh, two skips.
Yes. Because the beads... There we go.
Ooh.
I just really liked this one.
Cute.
They're cute.
Nice. I like the ladybirds best.
Oh, did I? Yeah.
Ladybirds.
Ladybird. Ah, you
It's
can't
not
see
brilliant, is it?
No.
No.
But it's cute.
Nice.
So that's going to be fun to work on. Stitching adjacent.
Very lovely. It is stitching.
Anyway.
Very lovely. And I've been banging on about you having like different crafts because sometimes you just cross stitch is fun, and the nice thing about it is that it's very repetitive, but sometimes you're just not in the mood to count, and now you have another craft.
Yes, because this the stitch along class that I've joined is counted, like all the stitches are counted, right? Whereas this is very much freestyle. It's just done on a you know, you draw it on and stitch over the line, sort of thing.
Nice.
But it's great.
That
Do a
is
class.
lovely.
It's awesome.
And you've been waiting for this class for like a year, haven't you?
Yeah. I signed up first day. I was one of the people who said, "Oh, you're doing a class."
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
It's great.
Very good.
So you had recommendations.
Oh. It was just a few things that I discovered. So I posted this on Instagram. There's a podcast that I'm really enjoying at the moment. It's an audio podcast. As the young people would say, all podcasts should be audio, but that's not true. We know that. It's called Stitch Please. And I really like them because it's a different voice to me. So it's a podcast for black stitches. And so everything, you know, all the people they interview are black makers. And I just really like that they have a different perspective. Like they come and shine a light on different things as well, which I find interesting. I don't want everything the same. But the episode that I posted is because they'd interviewed Aja Barber. I think that's her surname, Barber. She's an American living in the UK. And she's just written a book called Consumed, which is all about how toxic the textile production in the world is, and how we need to do something about it. And it's on my list of books to buy when I get paid on Tuesday. I have to ration my book buying because budget. I suppose the reason it hasn't come to the top of my queue is because I know most of it and I already live in that way. I'm very careful. But I kind of feel like I want to support a writer that has written about something that I'm passionate about. So, super interesting. Aja was interesting, and she didn't mince her words, but she was really incisive. There were a couple of things that I hadn't really thought about. One of the things, for example, that they were talking about is that always comes up in my mind, and I think in the world of like makers that are trying to be sustainable, it's about how making your own clothes is quite possibly always more sustainable than buying clothes. But then the question is like, is cloth making bad? Like, are they using child labor and blah, blah, blah. And Aja raised a really good point in saying there could be lots of things that are bad about making fabric as well, but it's mechanized in a way that making garments isn't. So the level of injustice about the treatment is not quite the same as mostly women, and it is mostly women working in sweatshops under really bad working conditions. So that was really interesting to me. But yeah, she's an advocate for just buying secondhand clothes. She only buys secondhand clothes now. So it's super interesting. I've probably listened to 4 of the podcasts now, and they've all been interesting. So it's called Stitch Please. And the woman that runs it, she's a university professor, which is also interesting. I don't know, I really like when people have a secret life. It's really interesting to me. So listen to that if you're interested in sewing and making. And also, I've watched this before, but I kind of went through a bit of a little binge recently. It's called Textile Talks, which is a channel on YouTube. So I think that the way it works is that there's 4 museums, 4 textile and quilt museums that have got together, and they do these talks. So this one is the San Jose Museum of Quilts and Textiles. Really interesting. Pardon, we've had ginger beer. Really interesting because they've had, artists and quilt makers, and super fascinating to listen to what mostly women, I think, have been so far, have to say about their making and their techniques and the things that they're trying to talk about. For example, the one that I'm in the middle of watching at the moment is a woman artist that works in quilts, and she's talking about voter suppression in America. And so she started talking about that and making artworks regarding that in 2013, and things have got worse.
Yeah. That's
when some big law got revoked, I don't know the right terminology, in America, by the Supreme Court. So interesting. And she was a former lawyer. She used to be a lawyer, and then when she retired, she like we're going to do, it just took over her life, and she's a maker now. She's an artist.
And that's Textile Talks.
Yes, Textile Talks on YouTube. So really interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What are your plans for the next 2 weeks?
I'm going to sleep.
And give a talk.
I'm going to do my little talk. I'm very excited about my little talk. Also, part of this little talk is that I'm probably going to offer a tour, which is going to be separate from the public library, and I'm going to ask a donation from people. So if people want to come and view my house, they can donate $5 to Life Matters, which is a charity in New Zealand that works hard to, what would be the expression, to fight for better mental health care in New Zealand, and they work very hard in the area of suicide prevention, which is a big problem in New Zealand. Yeah. We have very high rates of suicide, and so I think anything that we can do to contribute to improve mental health across the board is a good thing. So if you live locally and you want to come and look at my little tiny house, bring $5, phone the Waikouaiti Library, and book your place. I'll try and be entertaining. So I'm going to do that. So that's exciting. But
that is exciting.
I just want to have time in the evenings to make.
Yeah. And not be too tired to.
Yeah. I'm getting borderline to the point where I have too many projects on the go now, which is why I was super keen to finish my socks. Yeah. Which fixes nothing, because I'll just cast on something else. But I do feel like I really do need to make progress on some of my projects.
Well, I feel that you'll have your pincushion rounded off by next time.
Yes.
The ooh la la.
Yes.
Pincushion.
Yes. What about you? What are you planning to do?
I want to stitch all the things and just be awake and stitching.
Yeah.
I'm in a really good flow at the moment. So normally my schedule is I'm home about 6 o'clock, I'm stitching by 7 and I stitch till 9 and then I read until 11 or midnight. But at the moment I've been home and stitching till midnight.
Oh,
which usually I don't do because it's too tired and there comes a time where you've just got to put it down.
And also you work by using your hands.
Yeah.
And not even one hand. You use both hands.
Both hands, yeah.
Yeah. So you're a drafts person, aren't you?
Yeah.
If people know what that is.
Yeah. Or an architectural technician is
that the proper name?
I say draftsman.
Yeah.
Or drafts person.
Drafts person. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of.
I draw lines for a living.
Yeah. With both hands on, with a computer program. So you're using your hands.
Yes.
And they're clenched on a mouse, presumably.
Yep.
And then you come home and you sew by clenching a needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do have to look after yourself and be careful. Yeah.
I do. But I just, how sometimes you're so into it. I'm just having a great sewing week.
Well, one of the lovely things that is happening at work is that I've started quiz at morning and afternoon breaks.
Nice.
I've suggested and the team have taken it on and we actually have a jolly good time. We're tracking our results.
Excellent.
It's very exciting. And I knit when we're doing quiz, so that I'm making progress that way, so that's really good.
Yeah, I don't do my craft at work. I'm not in a place where I feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah, you have to be comfortable, right? It's probably good that you have a break as well, in a different way.
Yeah.
Okay, 1:26. Shall we
call it? So we hope that you guys have a great next fortnight. Happy
next
stitching.
fortnight. What date will it be next fortnight?
Oh,
so
it's the 11th today. I should have said that at the start. So what's that? 11 plus 14. Will it be the 15th?
I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be away because I'm going to turn 50.
So okay. Well, there might be 3 weeks between now and our next one.
Yes.
So we'll just shift 4 nights.
Yes. I'm going away with the husband to go op shopping. That's a treat. Okay.
Nice.
Well, have a lovely however many weeks we're away.
Yeah.
I mean, Victoria might do you might fly solo, might you?
No, I don't do that.
All right, lovely to catch up with you, all of you, and take care and keep stitching.
Ka kite.
Ka kite.